So I was sitting here in the garden watching PTC Punjabi over here from the British Freesat in the middle of Europe using my 2.5 meter offset dish antenna, of course powered from the official direct SGC branded refrigerator, drinking my 50-cent energy drink. So a normal evening for me, and I wondered how strong would QO-100 be with this kind of antenna, since obviously we have no lack of signal strength or quality with Freesat way outside of the UK beam. Now we've already looked at QO-100 on the channel, but in case you don't know what it is, QO-100 is the amateur radio call sign, or rather designation, of the SL2 TV satellite. This satellite has a special designation, a special amateur radio call sign, because alongside its normal TV transponders, I don't know why I just try to show you the satellite. I'm aiming at the satellite, so just imagine it's somewhere over there. Alongside its TV transponders, it also carries two amateur radio transponders that operate at a slightly different frequency, slightly lower frequency. And yeah, as I said, we already looked at them on this channel using an 85 centimeter antenna, so something like that. That dish over there, not this and not that. Don't look at that. And it was quite strong. So the nice thing about QO-100 is that the signals are very strong. In some cases, you only need DLNB, which is mounted over there. For some signal types, you are able to receive them using just DLNB without a dish antenna. So that's quite a strong signal. So unfortunately, we are going to have to move over from Astra 2 and stop watching this. You may also be wondering how I aim this dish, considering it's so high above the ground. So that's another thing that I kind of want to show in this video. I'm not very pleased about it, but yeah. To find QO-100, we are not going to be using the tuner, unfortunately. We are going to be using my trusty HEC RF, because, well, that's just much easier, and I don't really know the frequencies for SL2 TV channels. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the coax cable out of the satellite tuner and plug it into the bias T output over here. The phone is out of focus, but I cannot refocus it because my hands are busy. Yeah, it's not tight. Hopefully it will work. Okay. The HEC RF is currently tuned to the Astra 2 beacon, so we should be able to see. Let's fire it up. There we go. And that's Astra 2, so that's what we are aimed at right now, because I really wanted to try receiving Freesat in essentially Eastern Europe. QO-100 actually transmits at 10,490, I think. I can never remember the frequencies. We are using 20 million samples per second on the HEC RF, so even if we're just vaguely near the frequency, we should be able to see it. Yeah, there we go. We actually have a little indication from SDR Sharp. As I said, we are currently aimed at Astra 2, at the group of Astra 2 satellites, and I do believe they are quite close to SL2, so we may be able to just move the azimuth of the dish, which is very simple. I just stand on my little stool over here and I just swing the dish around left and right. Oh, and I already saw the signal on the HEC RF. You can actually kind of see it right now when I climb on it and move the dish slightly. Look at that. So that's a very rough positioning. I'm going to put the phone down because I need both hands for this, and I'm going to actually finally adjust the dish antenna and give you an overlay on screen as usual, so you can see how the signal is reacting. I've kind of changed the frequency so we can actually see both transponders. Actually, it's like probably something like this. It may not be apparent from this what the two transponders are. Also, like, why isn't the phone focusing? Okay. Clearly, there is one strong transponder over here, and the other is actually the wideband transponder, which is probably something like this. You can vaguely see it on the. You can vaguely see the edge on the spectrum. The reason the wideband transponder is currently appearing so much weaker is because each one of these is using a different polarization. So we are currently in vertical mode. We have 13 volts selected on the LNB, which means vertical polarization, and therefore we are receiving the narrowband transponder strong. If I switch to 18 volts, see what happens. Come on, you can do this. There we go. And now the narrowband transponder is much weaker, and we are actually seeing the noise floor, and an amateur radio transmission just started and stopped. This is the DATV beacon, the digital amateur television beacon that's constantly being relayed through QO-100, and we are occasionally seeing some amateur radio operators starting up their own DATV streams, probably just testing something. Yeah, that's I'm not sure what I wanted to show you in this video. I thought it would be interesting to see. Actually, there is one thing that I want to show you, and it's gonna come up very soon. What I want to talk about is this noise floor. We are actually seeing the noise floor of the transponder almost 10 decibels above the ambient noise floor, which means that we have essentially reached, and there we have another transmission, we are essentially getting the maximum possible signal to noise ratio on these signals. Because we are seeing the noise floor of the transponder, the signal to noise ratio of this signal or this signal is actually between this part and this part instead of this part and the ambient noise floor. So even if the dish I was using actually was giving me 10 decibels less gain, so this noise floor of the transponder would be the same as the noise floor of the background, basically, we would still be getting the same signal to noise ratio. So we have basically maxed out QO-100 reception completely. Now, there isn't much we can do with the wideband transponder. I'm sure there are tuners for Windows and Linux and whatever. Let's take a look at the narrowband transponder. We can actually kind of see the noise floor of the narrowband transponder as well, just a little bit, which is quite interesting because in theory, because we are in horizontal polarization now, we shouldn't be seeing this at all. But I'm guessing there's just some imperfections in the LNB and the way it's mounted, because I didn't really bother adjusting the skew angle. I just kind of threw it on the dish, but I'm going to try switching polarizations correctly now. So to do that, I'm going to pause the HEC-RF. I'm going to turn off the bias switch. Then we're gonna reduce the converter voltage. It's kind of cool, but it looks cool, but it's kind of crap. So future video, I want to build a better version of this, so subscribe for that. We're gonna switch the bias back on. Okay, no power surge on the USB so far, so we may have achieved a clean polarization swap. Yeah, we sure did. The frequency shifted a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. We are now seeing, well, the narrowband transponder, it's in all its glory. We are almost running out of dynamic range. You can see this is the 0 point, and some of these signals are getting very close to it. Can we listen in on some ham radio conversations? That's always interesting. What we are hearing right now is probably the multimedia beacon. Yep. Why are we not? There we go. That sounds horrible. This is the upper beacon, so that's marking the upper edge of the transponder. You can hear a little bit of LNB drift, but it's not nearly as bad with the bullseye. This is the lower transponder, the lower beacon, excuse me. Oh, and I think we have some SSTV going on. No, that's FT8. Never mind. Get out of there. Don't listen to that. Oh, I actually don't know what this mode is. Oh. Jesus, calm down. Yeah, I'm not sure what this mode is. Interesting. I don't know what this video is either. I've just kind of whipped out my phone without planning ahead. Let's listen into some audio, some voice. The nice thing about having an amateur radio transponder essentially strapped to a geostationary TV satellite is that with even a small antenna, actually an antenna just like that, which we have built in a previous video, because the QO-100 uplink is in the 2.4 GHz band, same as Wi-Fi, so that would technically work with enough power. I'm going to lower the volume. Any amateur radio operator with a valid license and appropriate hardware can relay their transmission through this satellite to achieve basically ranges comparable to low frequency like HF, long wave, short wave, medium wave, whatever you call all of those. I don't really care. But without any of the propagation effects, because we are working with 2.4 GHz on the uplink and then 10.5 GHz on the downlink, so that's 24/7 constant coverage. It's basically QO-100. It's basically like a tiny HF band in the microwave range, and that's really interesting. I really want to. I do have an amateur radio license. I still have to make a single contact, and it's about to expire, probably in like 2 years. I tried transmitting through the satellite. It didn't really work, even with this horrible contraption. I just can't afford an amplifier that has enough power. So if you want to see a video on that in the future, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so we can get a sponsor that's gonna pay for that. We're not gonna stick with the narrowband beacon, because now that we have aimed at the QO-100 satellite, we're going to take a mental note of the frequency of the wideband DATV beacon. I'm gonna turn off all these things, and I'm going to take the cable out of the bias T. See, this may be obvious to some of you, and you probably may have tried it on your own and it worked, but I didn't think it would work because we still have they are frozen in time, because the DATV beacon uses DVB-S. I'm not sure if it uses DVB-S too. Maybe it does. I'm gonna put that on screen. And this satellite TV tuner supports that protocol. I thought maybe it could be possible to receive the QO-100 DATV beacon with an off-the-shelf satellite tuner, and this is the Amico Mini HD265. It is quite literally the cheapest satellite tuner that I could find, brand new for sale, that has the Skylink fast scan feature, and it turned out doesn't really work. Skylink kind of sucks. That's why I just decided to keep it and use it for horrible things like this. Of course, 10.491 gigahertz is way below the standard satellite TV range. And the same goes for the intermediate frequency. If we disable the shift, we are at 741.5 megahertz IF, and that's also way below the normal one. And in fact, if we go in the menu, okay, I need to put this scan away. If we go in the menu of the satellite tuner, satellite installation, and we wanted to do the blind scan, which just looks for all of the available channels, it would not find anything. However, if we go to some test satellite, it's one of the empty presets. It just has no transponders that you can. It has no transponders, so you can add your own. And yeah, let's do that. Let's TP edit, yellow button. It has no transponders configured, so we press the green button to add one. We give it the frequency, and this is where the first issue comes up. I didn't expect it to just let me type in 10,492, and I press OK, and it just accepts it, and it's okay with that. The issue is that this does not actually support decimal places, because that's why would you want to do that with satellite TV? Here the frequency is actually 491.5. I just rounded up to 492 because, you know, this kind of expects to be used with crappy LNBs that have a very bad frequency shift anyway, so it kind of looks around, scans around until it can lock onto something. And the symbol rate of the DATV beacon is 1000 500. And look at that. Something just appeared here. The signal strength is there, the signal quality is quite low, but that's, as I said, because we have maxed out the SNR. It's horizontal, of course. We press OK. Actually, we just press back. And are you sure to save? Yes. No, we don't want to watch Punjabi anymore. Unfortunately, we can't. We go back to the installation. I'm not sure, it's kind of weird. But we go back to the satellite where we just configured it. And we do, I believe, TP scan with the green button. Let's scan everything. Let's do manual scan. I don't know how these things work, but it should be able. Look at that. It found something. A71A. What could that possibly be? Jesus Christ, that's really horrible. You get the idea. Let's see if we can fix it. But yeah, it actually turns out you totally can just tune into the amateur DATV beacon of the QO-100 satellite. Yeah, I connected it back to the HEC RF just to see what's going on. And I think I see what's going on. Look at that. We have an amateur radio transmission right beside the beacon, and I think that is throwing off the little tuner over there because it's not supposed to work with such low symbol rates. So we're gonna watch this, and hopefully it's gonna disappear. I'm really sorry if the amateur radio operator is watching this. I'm glad that people are using this wideband transponder. There's a lot of unused space usually. But it is ruining our experiment a little bit. We just have to wait for this amateur radio transmission to end. I wonder what they are broadcasting. Oh, there we go. Okay, quick. We gotta be quick. Unplug. Quickly run to the other side of the table and plug it in. I'm just gonna... Oh! It didn't really work. That's very unfortunate. Is the transmission back? No, it's not there, but there is some other signal, and it's quite strong. We are seeing the sidebands of it. I don't know. When I tried this without recording, there was no traffic on the transponder. You know what? I just got a really smart idea. Jesus Christ, why didn't I think of this before? We're gonna unplug this thing, and this computer, instead of the SDR, is going to connect to the internet. Oh, it's actually working. Okay, I wasn't expecting my internet speed. So yeah, this is what we're gonna do instead. I think currently this signal is interfering with the tuner. So the tuner is not sure where to lock because it's seeing this thing over here. Look at that. We can see Venus over there. That's nice. I'm not familiar with how DATV, QSOs, or amateur TV contacts work. If what we have seen before was one operator transmitting and now it's the other's turn to respond, I really don't know. Hopefully we can catch a few seconds of free transponder. Oh wait, there is no audio, and oh! Is it gonna lock? Oh. The transmission just moved over there. Let's turn it off. Let's turn it on when there's no transmission on the transponder. How about that? No. This was perfect timing. Please. No! I swear to God it worked. I have footage of it working. Let's try 10,000 for 90. Let's go even lower. Maybe water got inside it. Because it's been outside. It's quite cold and it's already starting to fog up. Okay, here's the idea. I think the tuner just needs to warm up a little bit. This is insane. This is literally insane. I can't believe I'm doing this. I don't know why it's not working. I really have no idea at this point. I swear to God, it worked when I tried it today. I'm gonna put in the video so you can actually see it. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. That didn't have the effect. I wanted to turn off the TV and that would be the jump cut to the next. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, we are back. I don't want to be too loud because the neighbors are here. So I also want to be fast because I don't want to freak them out too much. It's the next day. The TV is connected, turned on. Right now it's just saying it doesn't have terrestrial signal. All we have to do is switch it to HDMI and hopefully we will be able to see QO-100 beacon. Wow. Let's try unplugging it and replugging the HDMI cables, if that's gonna do anything. It's still broken. It is still not working. But as you have just seen, there is clearly something wrong with the set-top box. I'm going to try to go back to Freesat because I watched the video that I recorded yesterday and I think I said the Punjabi channel we had was Freesat. It was not. It was in fact Sky UK. So we're gonna go back to the Astra 2 group and at least tune Freesat and see if that works. Right, I've adjusted the dish a little bit and I'm running a blind scan, and as you can see, we're already getting hundreds of channels. Most of them are encrypted. Yeah, but I want to prove that I'm able to receive Freesat, even though it means literally nothing to any one of you. Ironically, this is also what the previous owner of this giant antenna was using it for. I asked him what he used it for. He said he used it to receive British television. I didn't understand why he would want to do that. Now I do. So I moved the dish around a little bit, did some re-aiming, and we did actually end up receiving Freesat once again. It's the Film 4 channel. And the reason why I find Freesat particularly interesting is because here in Europe, you don't really get channels like this for free. Those are all encrypted and you need a monthly or an annual subscription. I don't know if that's something to do with copyright reasons, because you have a bunch of countries in Europe next to each other. We can actually kind of see that if we take a look at the link set page of Film 4, so that's the channel we are watching right now. You can see there are 4 satellites that transmit it. We got the 3 Astra 2 satellites. Those are all in the same group, and we are receiving all 3 of these at the same time. And there's also one more from Hotbird 13G. But notice that all of them, except one, are encrypted, and the one that isn't encrypted is the Freesat channel, and it's also only on the UK beam. And if we take a look at the map of the UK beam, yeah, you're not really meant to be receiving these channels in Europe. As you can see, the recommended dish size there in the UK is 50 centimeters, 50 to 60, slightly outside of the UK and Iceland. It's above 50. However, we are sitting somewhere over here, way outside of the beam, with 250. And yeah, there are a few artifacts here and then, usually when a car goes by, so the dish probably needs a better aiming. Right now it's not even clamped, it's just free to spin with the wind, so it's probably not helping. Yeah, right, like right now. But this is entirely watchable, and yeah, this is something that you just do not get in Europe, at least where I live. You would have to pay for Skylink or something like that. I think that's gonna be it for this video. I don't really know where I wanted it to go. Well, I do know. I really wanted to show you how the QO-100 DATV beacon works. I have no idea why it just stopped working. It was working yesterday around this time fine. I thought maybe just some moisture got into the set-top box. Clearly that's not the case. So I'm going to end it here before the video gets even longer than it is already. And thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more content with this dish. Next time is going to be something less stupid. And maybe one day we will actually be able to receive and even transmit DATV through the QO-100 satellite the proper way.